Bob Hintz here with Coach Mike Talon of the Phoebus Phantoms. Mike, congratulations again on a fine season so far. Coming into the tournament, what does this mean?
This is just like icing on a cake. I mean, it's just should be a good ball game. Menchville's playing extremely well now and with a lot of confidence, and our kids, you know, need some more tests, and Menchville's the team that could give it to us.
Well, you beat them twice during the regular season, but you didn't blow them out like some of the other teams. They kind of match up with you pretty good, Mike.
Well, they're athletic and they're deep, and they're real aggressive, and you know, they make you do things you don't want to do because of their aggressiveness. So, you know, it is a good matchup.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you in the regionals.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Bob Hintz with Coach Phil Forbes of the Menchville Monarchs. Coach, congratulations on a fine season.
Thank you, Bob. We're very pleased to be here. We're looking forward to tonight's game with Phoebus. Not too many people get a third chance to play them, try to beat them. They're an excellent team, and we're just happy to be here because we know there are a lot of teams back home that wish they were here.
Yeah.
We're going to be ready.
Good. One question. No pressure because you're going to the regionals. Can you play looser?
We're going to play loose. We're going to have fun, and I'm going to enjoy my coffee tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. Congratulations on a fine season. Good luck tonight, Phil. Okay, Tim, let's go back over to you.
From Anderson Fieldhouse at Fort Eustis, WHCS Cable Channel 5 presents Peninsula District Championship Basketball. The Phoebus Phantoms versus the Menchville Monarchs. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Anderson Fieldhouse for this matchup between number 1 ranked Phoebus 22-1 and Menchville Monarchs at 19-4 overall. And these two teams are not strangers. They have met twice previously, both times Phoebus coming out on the winning end. Right now, well, I thought we were going to have the play of the national anthem, Bob, but it might have been a little premature. At any rate, there you see the officials. I'll give you them while we're waiting for the national anthem. That is Steve Panoff and Wayne Converse.
The tennis shoe.
That's right. And now we're going to have the playing of our national anthem. As I said before, the playing of the national anthem, these two teams are not strangers. They've met previously twice. There you see first-year head coach Phil Forbes, who has helped the Monarchs amass a very, very impressive 19-4 record this year. But they did lose to the Phantoms twice, did Menchville. And right now, let's follow the introduction of the starting lineups. First young lady is Cynthia Allen. There you see her, number 24. For the Phoebus Phantoms, Keisha Reese, number 33. Wanda Browning, number 10 for the Menchville Lady Monarchs. Kenya Vaughn, number 21, will start for Mike Talon's Phoebus Phantoms, averaging 10 points a game. Patty Dixon, averaging 9.4 points per game for the Menchville Monarchs. There you see Miss Dixon. Lakeisha Frett, number 41, averaging 30 points a game for the Lady Phantoms. And she is a consensus All-American and just a junior. Number 20 for the Menchville Monarchs is Ruby Taylor. For the Phantoms, Janelle Hargrove. Hargrove averaging 9.3 points per game. Ruby Taylor 6.6. Number 40 is Jara Savage, averaging better than 20 points a game for the Lady Monarchs. And finally, for the Phantoms, Felicia Bishop, number 25. Head coach Mike Talon, in his 11th year with the Lady Phantoms, has amassed a 202 and 69 record while with Phoebus. And as I mentioned, Phil Forbes, there's a good look at very likable Mike Talon. And Phil Forbes, 19-4 in his first season with the Monarchs.
I'll tell you, Phil Forbes has done a fine job. The Monarchs has always been rather good, Tim. They've always played well in the district. Phil is a first-year coach of the girls. He coached the boys last year, has just done a phenomenal job. They had a JV team, Tim, that was 18-0, won the JV championship, so to speak. So he's got a good program building there. But this Phoebus Phantom team is tough to beat. But like we talked earlier, beating any team 3 times is tough.
We are set to go. It will be a toss-up and controlled by the Lady Phantoms. They are the home team tonight. Down low, outside, bank shot doesn't go. Ball is loose, finally controlled by the Monarchs. 24, Cynthia Allen comes up with it for Menchville.
Nice pass inside by Lakeisha Frett, who is the scorer. Just didn't convert on the inside.
Baseline jumper, no good. Frett with the rebound. 6'2" Lakeisha Frett. She'll bring it all the way up the floor. Throws up a air ball. Saved on a baseline by Janelle Hargrove, but then finally controlled by Wanda Browning of Menchville. Right side jumper is good. Number 20, Ruby Taylor, hits the first basket of the ball game. Menchville with a pressing full court defense. The Phantoms cannot control it, and the defense causes the turnover.
Well, these teams will play similar styles, Tim. They will both press you full court. They will run down. They will run when they can. Phoebus looks a little tight right now, but that happens with any team. They get a little, adrenaline flows a little too quick.
Good quick move, left-handed jumper doesn't go. Dixon underneath has it blocked by Frett. And Lakeisha Frett double teamed in the back court. She's not afraid to put the ball on the floor. Contact made. No foul call. Shot is up, no good. Hargrove with the rebound, sticks it back up, it won't go. And we've got one referee or one official calling a jump ball, and the other one who will overrule calling a foul on Lakeisha Frett.
Well, I don't know,
first.
He said she went over the back. That was a tough call to make in his situation, but you and I have talked before. I wouldn't want to be one of those stripes out there on the floor.
So a player control foul gives the ball to the Lady Monarchs. This is Browning guarded by Hargrove. Dixon picked up by Lakeisha Frett. Man-to-man defense and a double dribble.
And that's just pressure. That's pressure causes that.
Lakeisha Frett will inbounds. 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. We are in the first period, just underway, and again the turnover as Phoebus has come out really very tight, which is surprising because there's nothing to be lost in this game from the point of view of seeding or positions in the
That's correct.
regionals.
Both of these teams are going to the regionals.
And the official got involved in that game. So inadvertently kicked out of bounds. One of those things you just can't help.
But he's part of the floor.
Ball was last touched by a Phoebus Phantom before it touched the officials, so that's why Menchville will get the ball. Mike Talon on the far sidelines questioning that call, but not too vociferously, so play continues. On the baseline, penetration, and a foul will be called against Keisha Reese, number 33 of Phoebus. That's her first, second team foul, and another player control foul. Ball out at the side. And now a timeout call. So we've played a little more than 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. There you see Mike Talon giving instruction to the Lady Phantoms. We talked about the games that these two teams have played against each other. Phoebus won the first matchup back on the 17th of December by 28 points. But then at Menchville on the 31st of January, Phoebus came away with just a 7-point margin of victory. So you can tell that Menchville has improved their game. And Menchville only lost 4 games all year, 2 of them to Phoebus, 2 of them to Gloucester. Now the other night, we know they avenged that loss to Gloucester by winning and getting to the championship game here. Can they avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat? We'll see.
It'll be interesting to see what Mike Talon, I know, just wants to get his team to settle down a little bit, run their offense. And I've not seen him go this long without scoring any points in a long, long time.
It's been 85 games since a Peninsula District team beat Phoebus. There's
double dribble and he missed.
Call it. And now they call it traveling. He missed the double dribble. She definitely dribbled the ball twice, picked it up, and then dribbled again. But that's an amazing statistic when you think about it, with all the fine teams that Menchville has had and Gloucester now, second year in the Peninsula District. 85 consecutive victories by Phoebus over Peninsula District teams. Lakeisha Fred running the show way outside at the top of the key. She is picked up by Patty Dixon. Now Dixon backs off of her. Not sure what the strategy here is. The open player shot no good, and the board comes to Patty Dixon. This is Savage, baseline, no good. And a foul on the rebound. Savage.
She reached in and grabbed a hold of Keisha Reese. Tim, that was a good foul in that she almost come up with a steal.
We mentioned that the Phantoms have a 22-1 record. Just a little piece of trivia for you. The only team to defeat Phoebus this year was Centerville High School, who is 22-2 on the season. So they have a pretty fine team, obviously, but someone beat them twice. So you know the state's going to be tough this year again. Lakeisha Fred, a little too strong with the jumper.
He doesn't have any rhythm right now.
Still the score of 2-0 in favor of the Monarchs. This is Reese guarding Savage. Now the ball comes to Ruby Taylor. Now Browning. Too strong, rebound for Fret. Fret is guarded too closely, and a foul will be charged to Wanda Browning.
But they're trying to put pressure on the Phantoms all the way up the court, and you can see that right now it's got Phoebus rattled a little bit, especially at their shooting end. They have not shot the ball well. All 4 shots that they have taken have been kind of erratic.
4:04 remaining in the first period, just a 2-0 score. You might imagine this was a slowdown if you just tuned in, but it's not. Both teams have played tenaciously on defense. Foul was called on the play. Janelle Hargrove called for her first personal foul.
And Desiree Allen, number 22, checks in for the Phantoms, their first substitute of the game.
You have to wonder if, in fact, you don't come into these games a little too lackadaisical because nothing is on the line other than the, I say nothing, the Peninsula District Championship trophy is. But as far as any seedings or positioning in the regional playoffs, there is nothing at stake here. both of these teams do advance. So you wonder if that has some factor. So far, we have not seen a typical game from either of these two teams. Lakeisha Fred, double team, spots the open player. Into Fred, and a foul before the shot. Basket will not count.
Well, that was a good foul because that was a sure two. Nice look by Keisha Reese to find Lakeisha wide open under the basket. The Phantom, Lady Phantom, was just late getting there. Grabbed a hold of her arm as she was trying to shoot the ball.
13 foul against the Monarchs. The second against Wanda Browning. I think he had a player control foul. In heavy traffic, ball gets into the hands of Lakeisha Fred, and
nice pass.
Put it in. Yeah. That ball was not intended for Fred, but it worked out well for the Phantoms. And good defense at the other end of the floor by Felicia Bishop, as she is trailing on the play and knocks the ball away. And now the Monarchs will have to set up. I got a question for you, Bob.
All right.
If our director is sitting to my right here, who's running the show? Way outside, the shot is off the rim. Back come the Lady Phantoms. This is Kenya Vaughn with the ball. She gives to Felicia Bishop. In it goes for Fred, and again the foul before the shot.
Well, that looks like they want to foul her before she can get the shot off, Tim, and that's exactly what they're doing.
That's fine, but as many times as Fred shoots the ball, they're going to foul a lot of people out.
Yeah, especially when she's underneath the basket like that. And pretty soon she's going to be shooting her foul shot.
Patty Dixon called for the personal. Inbounds pass, contact made, no foul. A tie-up underneath and a jump ball. Possession arrow will give the ball to the Monarchs. Danelle Hargrove will come back in the ball game for Phoebus, replacing Desiree Allen, number 22. 2-2 is our score, just 2:40 remaining in the first period. A low-scoring affair. Ball was kicked out of bounds, last touched by the Phantoms.
It went right off of Felicia Bishop's foot, Tim. But that would have been a turnover.
Fred guarding against Dixon. Dixon's shot is no good. Rebound underneath, put back in nicely by number 24, Cynthia Allen. The Monarchs now lead 4-2. From the corner, the shot up, no good. Fred with the rebound, but we're going to get another foul call. This one will probably be on Fred.
Well, she bumped her own player. I don't know how it could be on her, but that's what he called.
And Mike Talon, to say the least, is upset. He is about as upset as I've ever seen him get. He was saying to the referee, here's the replay. Let's see if we can pick this up. She does, in fact, run into her own teammate. Now, I don't know how you call that foul, but the official much closer on the play than we are. 3-second violation against the Monarchs. And now Phil Forbes is up and pleading with the officials. So neither one of the coaches particularly pleased with the officiating here in the first period. Lakeisha Fred pulls up short. Turnaround jumper is stuck right back in by Kenya Vaughn, number 21. That's her first bucket. And we're tied at 4 with 1:47 remaining. Double teamed and a foul.
The game looks just a little helter-skelter on both ends, Tim.
Two fouls now on Hargrove, so Hargrove and Fred for Phoebus each with 2. Desiree Allen comes back in the ballgame for Phoebus, replacing Hargrove. This is Misty Hart in the ballgame. Kicking it back out for Savage. Jara Savage averaging better than 20 points a game. Browning tries to pass inside and gets her own pass back on the deflection. Lakeisha Frett, tenacious on defense underneath that basket.
But all loose balls are being picked up by the Monarchs right now.
Nice pass, though, because Patty Dixon was being guarded by Fred, and she broke loose, and the pass was a perfect pass and an easy basket. Ball touched before it went out of bounds by the Monarchs.
And I'm not sure who Desiree was throwing that ball to, because she threw it right to a Menchville player, and I'm sure she just a little bit nice shot, tough bounce, nice release by Frett.
This is Browning to Savage. Savage blocked nicely. What an effort to get the ball up the court, and we'll have another foul, I believe. Boy,
I don't know how she got that ball to her teammate, Tim. She was tripped. No call. She batted the ball forward. Who was that? Desiree Allen did
yeah,
that?
I believe so. Wanda Browning has just picked up foul number 3, and now Phil Forbes has more than a word or two for the officials. So both coaches have had to go to the officials on the calls early here. Inbounds pass, and Keisha Reese, here we'll see this replay. Tripped up with her either by her own, that was Desiree Allen, but boy, you talk about giving it your all. We're back to the live action now. Misty Hart's shot too strong. Savage is fouled from behind by Keisha Reese. That will be her second. So the fouls are just mounting up against both teams.
I tell you, both teams are playing aggressive defensively, and the officials are going to take control right away. They're not going to, they're going to call it close, so the kids have got to make the adjustment.
6-6 is our score. At the free throw line is Jara Savage, averaging, as I mentioned, 20-plus points per game. By the way, we want to take an opportunity to thank Mike Keach and all of the sports writers down at the Daily Press for providing us with statistics, not only for this game, but throughout the season. And we want to thank Eric Pugh down there. As I said, Mike Keach, Tony Anthony is in attendance tonight. A lot of the sports writers, but all of these gentlemen and ladies are kind enough to get this together for us, and we sure appreciate their help. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line unties the score, 7-6. Kenya Vaughn's pass is an errant one and easily picked off by Hart. Hart spots Savage down court, can't get the ball to go. Rebound is put back in.
Picks her own rebound in. Nice hustle by the Phantom. Monarchs.
And the Monarchs take a 9-6 lead after 1 period.
Tim, well, we got a break in the action. I do want to talk about our DC Engraving Sports Place player of the game that we will pick before the end of the contest as we watch some of the replay of Savage missing her own shot, getting her own rebound. DC Engraving donates a plaque with the player's name and the Channel 5 logo on it to the player of the game that we select. DC Engraving is located in Times Square in York County on Route 17. Dave Buckwalter is the young man who is a proprietor there. Also will be given a shirt donated by the sports place located at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is the young man there, and the shirt will have our logo, his logo, and of course player of the game. And we appreciate the effort of these 2 young men.
We've played 8 minutes and only a total of 15 points on the board. That is not typical of either of these teams.
Well, last night, or the other night when we was here, the finals between Menchville and Gloucester was low scoring, but they held the ball.
Not so in this game. And again, Lakeisha Frett is fouled on the down low pass, and this is Patty Dixon for her second personal foul.
And it's again, they're calling it a foul prior to the shot. So the next one of both teams will be shooting a 1-and-1, the next foul.
6 team fouls on each team. On the 7th one, you get the bonus. Hargrove looking inside, gets to Fred, back to Hargrove. She fakes the shot. Now Fred moving to her left, puts it up, no good. And Savage comes out with the rebound for the Monarchs. 3-on-2, left side feed, Ruby Taylor, no good. And knocked out of bounds by Phoebus.
But Tim, every loose ball on the floor is being picked up by the Monarchs. They are just out hustling the Phantoms right now.
Misty Hart guarded closely, puts it in. So Hart averaging about 5 points a game, gets her first basket and the biggest lead of the night, 5 points for the Monarchs. Reese bobs and weaves her way in and scores her second basket. And the lead now 11-8. Second period just underway. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz here at Anderson Fieldhouse on the Fort Eustis reservation, and the shot put up and in. I believe that was Savage, wasn't it?
Yes, number 40.
Jara Savage with the basket. Bringing you this, the Peninsula District Championship game. The Phoebus Phantoms with the ball. And panning the shot from outside is Keisha Reese. You've got to have someone, because Fred isn't doing the scoring right now, so you've got to pick that up somewhere, and Reese is one of those players that can do it for you.
Well, the turnover right there by the Phantoms caused by the Monarchs, caused by the Phantom press. But you're right, Tim. Somebody's got to pick up the scoring touch. Keisha Reese is picking up the scoring. Somebody's got to, because right now Fred is struggling with her shooting touch. She's just does not look in rhythm. And, you know, you hope as a shooter she keeps shooting and finally will get a rhythm. But that's right now is helping the Phantoms get back in the game.
Baseline jumper, in and out and back in again. Kenya Vaughn with her second bucket. And it's a 1-point game, 13-12. Stolen by Fred at center court. Spots an open player underneath, and that open player is Reese for two.
Six straight points, Tim.
And the defense usually does it for the Phantoms, and that's helping right now. But a 3-on-1 for the Monarchs. Hart finds Savage for the easy basket.
Nice pass by Hart.
7 points for Jara Savage. This is Fred, and she just has Ruby Taylor pick her pocket. Didn't really have good control of the ball. Savage guarded by Hargrove, and then a foul, and let's see how they call this one. I believe it'll be a blocking foul, but I'll wait and see. That's what it's going to be.
It'll be a 1-and-1.
So that's the third on Keisha Reese. So she has 8 points to lead the Phantoms, but now she has to be very careful. And I don't know that Mike Talon will want to leave her in with 3 personals. He is at the moment, however. There you see a real good look at Jara Savage. And Savage misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Back come the Phantoms. Fred to Reese to Fred. Fred banks it in. So that's the kind of game you've got to get going for Lakeisha.
You got to get her involved in the offense.
Ball is stolen. Reese is hammered, and she'll get 2 shots. Cynthia Allen got her to make sure there was no easy bucket. 16-15 as the Phantoms have regained the lead here. I say regained. I don't know that they've ever had the lead.
They had it one time.
They haven't won?
Yes. They had it at 15-14. I think it was 15-14, something like that. I don't know. But they had it momentarily. Scored the 6 straight points.
Reese hits the first of 2. She has 3 personals. There you see the scoreboard. 5:12 remaining in the first half, and Reese with 3 personals. And as of yet, Mike Talon has not gone to his bench to replace her. Reese misses the second, but gets the loose ball, and she'll try and put it back up. Doesn't go. And Good save on the far sideline by Savage.
Nice catch by Savage.
Ball knocked into the backcourt by Hargrove, and then she steals the ball from Savage. What a good hustle by Hargrove. Something we've seen quite often. Baseline jumper a little too long. Chased down by Pamela Bircher and then thrown away. Stolen by Hargrove again. Hargrove to Fred to Reese. Reese missed it. And then Fred battled for the loose ball. Hargrove comes up with it. Play a little bit ragged and getting a lot more ragged. Last touch by the Phantoms.
Mike Callan is hot. He thought there was some fouls going to call. Should have been called there, but no foul was called. But maybe he's just a little hot that they didn't bring the ball out and set it up. But they had the opportunity to score a quick basket there. You can't fault the Lady Phantoms.
I think he's more upset with the team right now than he is with anything else.
Yeah, I think so too, Tim.
Of course, they have, the Phantoms are never good enough. If they win by 30 points, people think they should have won by 40. But you have to remember, this is just high school, and these are just young teenage players. So. Stolen by Savage. Savage up, and no, it doesn't go.
And that's because of the Felicia Bishop's hustle, Tim.
She did give her some pressure and then turned over at the other end. Hargrove trying to steal the ball.
I've never seen either team lose control of the ball with no pressure. The Phantoms are just...
I wonder, and I'm not making excuses for anyone, but this gym is very big, and it's unlike a high school gymnasium where you have a wall at the other end. It doesn't have the same confinement that you do to high school gyms, and of course that, both teams are playing under the same conditions. But I think we're seeing an untypical game for both teams.
I think so too.
So the conditions of the arena here could be a factor. And that was a foul. I didn't see it, but that was a foul.
He was giving her a little bit of body.
Mike Talon asking Felicia Bishop why.
But she had her for 5 seconds. It would have been a jump ball, and the Monarchs would have maintained possession, but it would at least, that would have been a turnover.
Yep, sure would have. At the free throw line, 1-1, Ruby Taylor. She's got 2 points. There you see a good look at number 20. And she misses the front end, so you get a chance to see the foul that occurred just a moment ago. Back to the live action inside. Freck with the bucket.
She is tough underneath the basket. You get her there.
Keisha Fred with 6 points now. Misty Hart's shot too strong. And the putback is good by Cynthia Allen.
And she did a great job of using the left hand to avoid getting a block by Fred.
2-point lead for the Phantoms, 19-17. Hargrove wants to go inside, instead kicks it out for Bishop. Now to Reese. Desiree Allen playing the low post. Reese guarded by Browning. Browning with 3 personal fouls. Hargrove is open. Back to Reese. They get it inside for Allen. Allen forces the shot up. And it is knocked out of bounds by Phoebus. Again, I remind you, if you're watching for one of the few or first times here on Channel 5, in high school ball, there is no shot clock. Most of the rules are the same as college ball, but with the exception of the shot clock and the 8-minute quarters. Chance now for the Monarchs to tie the score. They trailed 19-17. Misty Hart, left-hander, nothing but net. 4 points for Hart, and we're knotted up at 19. Keisha Fred to Hargrove. Bishop fakes, then penetrates, puts it up a little short. Bishop, amongst the taller players, has it knocked loose, finally controlled by Reese. Reese will fire, and no good as the Phantoms are ice cold.
I don't know what the percentage is shooting-wise, but they are not hitting the percentages that Mike Talon would like to see.
Dixon in heavy traffic. Kicks it back out to Taylor, over to Savage. Taylor has it partially blocked. Dixon got the loose ball. She'll fire it back up. No good. And finally the rebound controlled by Kenya Vaughn. Keisha Reese knocked away by Hart. Loose ball and a jump ball. And I'll tell you, these two teams are scrappy on defense.
I tell you, I'm real impressed with the way the Monarchs are playing. They're not showing any fear to this Phantom team, and I'm sure a lot of teams walk out on the court in the Peninsula District and a little tentative because of the Phoebus Phantoms, but the Monarchs aren't. Not tonight. Of course, you can play real loose, as Phil Forbes said in the interview.
Hart puts it up and draws the foul.
And hope it's not on number 33. Oh, it is. That's 4.
That's 4 on Reese. So that will be a 4th foul on Reese, and needless to say, she will come out. I'm not, believe me, I'm not questioning Mike Talon, but I was curious as we watched the replay why she was in there with 3 personals.
And Mike is wondering why she went over to help out and not try for the rebound. But you know, you play like you played all year. It's hard to change.
Hart hits the first of 2. So Reese is replaced by Desiree Allen. And I would imagine it'll be late in the 3rd or 4th period before we see Reese come back in. Hart misses the 2nd. Fret with the rebound. Monarchs had a tough 28-20 victory over Gloucester to get to this final game. Nothing but net for Kenya Vaughn.
Got a nice touch on the ball, Kenya Vaughn does. Now, how can the call be made back at half court, Tim? I don't believe that.
Foul is on Hargrove. That will be her 3rd. So Hargrove with 3. We'll get a chance to watch the replay of that shot, and then let's see if we follow the action as they bring it down the court. Now we'll go back to the live action. Well, here it is. We'll pick it up. Now see Hargrove coming into your picture here. She commits the foul here, and the official literally next to the players did not call the foul.
Did not blow his whistle.
So Allen hits the free throws, and we're knotted up again at 21. Menchville led 9-6 after 1, and we're tied at 21 right now. Monarchs have held Lakeisha Fret to just 6 points in the first half. Easy shot missed by the Phantoms. Back come the Monarchs. Misty Hart. Underneath. Foul. The basket will count.
And a foul is on Kenya Vaughn, number 21.
That'll be her first.
They are pushing the ball down the court real quick, they being the Monarchs, before the Phantoms could get back on defense. And right now, that's hurting them.
Here's your replay. You see Hart with a good look inside.
And a nice pass.
And Cynthia Allen now with 5 straight points, and her team leads by 3. The Monarchs at the buzzer. The shot no good. So the 3-point lead that the Monarchs enjoyed after 1 period holds up as they lead 24-21 at halftime here in the championship game of the Peninsula District Group AAA high school girls between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Menchville Monarchs. Will return to Anderson Fieldhouse after a brief timeout. Wilson Fieldhouse. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. As you see the score at halftime, the Menchville Monarchs on top of the Phoebus Phantoms 24-21. And the Phantoms have not played well, and of course part of that contributed to the fine defensive effort of the Menchville Monarchs. The Phantoms have other problems too, in that Keisha Reese, who has the leading scorer for the Phantoms with 9 points, has 4 personal fouls and will probably see a limited amount of duty in the third period. 6 points for Lakeisha Frett. She averages 30 points a game, so she's well off of her game. And then 6 points for Kenya Bond. And Janelle Hargrove also has 3 personal fouls for the Phoebus Phantoms. So 4 on Reese, 3 on Hargrove, and 2 on Lakeisha Frett. For the Monarchs, they were paced by Cynthia Allen, who had 8 points. 7 points for Jara Savage, and 2 points each for Patty Dixon and Ruby Taylor to round out, 5 points also for Misty Hart, who also played well for the Monarchs in the first half. But the Monarchs did play well, although they shot rather poorly for them. And of course the Phantoms, Mike Talon, I'm sure, had a few words for the Lady Phantoms in the locker room, trying to get them back on track here, because they're not playing as well at all as they can. But you know, you have those nights too.
Oh yeah, you do, Tim. And it's hard to get up for game after game after game, especially when you know that you're the top seed in the regionals. And it's hard to get up for the game. And I know Mike is a perfectionist. He wants these young ladies to play close to the top of the game all year, every game.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less.
But the Menchvilles come out in a zone.
Pass for Frett goes off her hand. Back comes the Monarchs. Left side feed for Savage. Savage can't get it up high enough. And then saved nicely on the baseline. Good heads-up play by Browning to knock it out off of a Phoebus player and out of bounds. Browning playing with 3 personal fouls. She's the only Monarch with more than 1. Savage guarded by Hargrove. Taylor picked up by Bishop. Taylor will shoot and hit.
She's shooting right over the top of Bishop.
And a bad pass from Lakeisha Frett behind the back of Felicia Bishop, and she was about 5 feet away from her. You just can't pass the ball like that. Timeout called by the Lady Phantoms. I guess they might want to talk about this zone defense.
Well, the zone defense, but also play within yourself and try to slow down and play under control. They're not playing under control at all, as you saw by that pass by Lakeisha Frett. Way out of character for her to throw the ball that hard behind the back, 5 feet from the ball play. Very uncharacteristic of the Mike Talon team, and I'm sure that's what upsets Mike, is that they're not playing under control.
Monarchs leading by 5 points. We should hasten to add that the Phantoms will be a home team host in the first round of the Eastern Regionals, and they will host a game next Tuesday night at the Phoebus Gymnasium. I'm not sure of the opponent, so I won't try and guess at this point, but we encourage all of you fans out there to come on out and support the Lady Phantoms. I don't care if you went to Hampton or Bethel or whoever. Go out there and support our representatives from the city of Hampton in the Eastern Regionals. And you'll enjoy the game as well, I'm sure. Back to the live action. Savage will pump it up. No good. Frett will rebound. She'll push it up the floor, but she's going to have to wait for her teammates. She had a 1-on-4. Now Frett, nice move. Baseline jumper, in and out, as Frett just hasn't gotten on track tonight.
He really has, and that was an awesome move. Left number 42, Patty Dixon, kind of spellbound.
Frett with the rebound for the Phantoms. Phantoms want to push it up the floor, and a foul from behind will be called on Patty Dixon. That'll be her second.
Is that her second or third, Tim?
I believe it's her second. We'll wait to see. The official score will let us know.
is her third foul.
So I missed a foul earlier then. So Dixon with 3 personal fouls. So that could be a factor down the road for the Monarchs. She has played very well. Bounce pass to Reese, who was playing with 4 personals. Shot up, no good by King Devon, but she'll get 2 shots at the free throw line. Cynthia Allen is called for the personal. That is her second. So quickly the Monarchs pick up 2 team fouls here, and going to the line is Kenya Vaughn. Here's your replay. You'll see Vaughn penetrate and go up with the jumper and draw the foul. And back to live action. Vaughn misses the first of 2 free throws. Misty Hart will come in for the Lady Monarchs, and she will replace Patty Dixon for Menchville. Crowd continuing to file in here for this game as well as the boys game, which will follow. Shot is no good, but the stick back is good by Janelle Hargrove. That's her first points of the night.
Big offensive rebound off of the missed foul shot.
Misty Hart standing on the 3-point line gets the 2. Hart with 7 points, and it's a 5-point Menchville lead. Hargrove guarded by Browning. Browning has to be cautious. She has 3 personals. Inside for Fret. Fret on the baseline, got the easy basket. And I say easy, nothing has come easily for her this evening.
Almost impossible to stop her down there, especially with the big gal out, Dixon.
Short jumper comes off in the hands of Fret. She finds Reese to her left. Reese rather puts it up, and she draws the foul. That'll be number 4 on Browning. So the Monarchs now getting a little foul trouble of their own.
Foul is going to be against the Menchville Lady Monarchs, number 10, Wanda Browning. That is her 4th personal foul. And he has practiced.
So Browning, as of yet, has not been replaced. Here's the replay. You see Reese going in, and Browning doing a pretty good job of holding her position, but she was moving and was called for the foul.
Got there just a little late, Tim. You're right.
Phantoms having trouble at the free throw line as well. Reese 1 of 3 from the free throw line. They are just 1 of 5 as a team.
Patty Dixon, 42, comes back in with 3 fouls, replacing Wanda Browning with 4 fouls.
I guess Phil Forbes just doesn't feel like he can leave Dixon on the bench too long with Fred out there.
Well, and I don't know what kind of a bench he's got, Tim.
So Reese goes 0 for 2 that trip to the free throw line. Still the Phantoms not having much success at the free throw line. Ball knocked away from the Monarchs. Hargrove on the left side, good pass, and she draws the foul underneath. And I believe that will be on number 24, Cynthia Allen. That'll be her 3rd.
4 quick team fouls.
So the Monarchs are fortunate at this point in that the Phantoms have not gotten untracked at the free throw line either. To this point in the game, they have hit just 1 of 6. And it continues to be a problem for them, 1 out of 7. Here's your replay.
Nice pass.
Hargrove was calling for the ball, and she got a little too far underneath the basket, but it worked out well for the Phantoms. Hargrove still can't get the free throw, and now we've got a
lane violation. Yes.
In the lineup, Pamela Bircher comes in, replacing Cynthia Allen. So Hargrove will get another try here. So far, she's only missed 1. The second one didn't count as a miss. This one does go in, so Hargrove with 3 points, and the lead is a 2-point lead for the Menchville Monarchs. Jaris Savage, guarded by Hargrove, pumps it up and in.
Nice move. Excellent offensive player.
9 points for Savage, averaging almost, well, actually more than 20. Fret is tied up underneath. The ball comes loose and finally controlled, and then a jump ball, and the ball will belong to the Phantoms. Now check that. It'll belong to Menchville, rather.
Right, because it's possession arrow, Tim.
Yeah, I saw the possession arrow, but I had the teams turned around.
I've done that before. So, well, it's pointing to this bench, right?
That's right. And Savage, anticipating movement from her teammate, didn't get it and threw the ball out of bounds. Remind you that we'll also have the boys championship game here on Channel 5 between the Kecoughtan Warriors, ranked number 4 in the state, make that 3, moved up a notch, and the Hampton Crabbers, the number 2 seed in the district. Baseline, the Phantoms clogged up a little bit. They kick it outside. Hargrove will penetrate. Dish off, right side. Kenya Vaughn hits it.
Nice looking shot from Kenya Vaughn. She's got to step up and make some of those shots. That'll loosen that defense up.
8 points for Vaughn. Savage with a nice move. Can't get it to fall. And Bishop with the board. Phantoms trailing by 2. Inside it goes for Fret. Fret is fouled. She'll get 2 shots.
And that's on Misty Hart.
That's only her first. That'll be the 6th team foul. Check that 5. So the Monarchs have committed 5 team fouls. A good look at All-American Lakeisha Fret. And she, like all the other Phantoms, trouble with the free throws. Here's your replay. Going into Fret. So the Phantoms can't get the lid off the basket. And Lakeisha snake bitten again at the free throw line. Monarchs by 2. Savage picked up by Hargrove. Bircher. Misty Hart, and Hart throws it away. Hargrove hounded from behind. I'll tell you, this Menchville team gets back on defense just about as well as anyone I've seen.
They are very quick.
They really do. Phil Forbes has done a fine job with this team. We haven't seen Menchville this year, but they are impressive on their defense, if nothing else. They play tough. And we've got an injured Phantom on the floor.
Looks
that
like
is
Kenya Vaughn caught an elbow.
Mike Talon rushes out to attend to her, along with someone else who I'm not familiar with who the gentleman in the green is. Oh, I think that's no, I started to say I thought who it was, but I don't know who it is. Hopefully she's just had the wind knocked out of her, but we'll get a chance to watch the replay. You'll see the ball come to the players, and then you'll see her fall and be in some pain, but we're not sure exactly what the problem is. Hopefully it's only minor. Stoppage of play comes with 3:11 left in the third period. We've got a 2-point ball game. The Menchville Monarchs leading. They led after one period. They led at halftime. And they hold a 2-point lead right now. As you see, Mike Talon trying to soothe Kenya Vaughn. Again, just to repeat myself, but I can't emphasize it enough, the Phantoms will be the home team Tuesday night at Phoebus High School, and they will host the quarterfinal rounds of the Eastern Regionals, or I guess the semifinal rounds.
Right.
And we encourage all of you listeners and viewers to get out there and support the Phantoms. 7 o'clock game time at Phoebus on Tuesday, what is it, the 4th of March?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it's the 4th.
Or 3rd.
Tim, well, we still got a little time here. Let me talk about the DC Engraving Sports Place Player of the Game. DC Engraving, located at Times Square in York County on Route 17, will donate a plaque to the Player of the Game from the Hampton team. We'll also get a T-shirt from the Sports Place located at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. And we want to thank both Dave Chubb at the Sports Place and Dave Buckwalder at DC Engraving for their efforts to help us recognize one of the ball players from the Hampton City Schools.
Kenya Vaughn is on the sidelines now. She got up and got off on her own, so we're happy to see that the case, and certainly hope she is only temporarily on the bench. Frick gets the pass inside and gets the bucket and draws the foul.
It seemed like it was just a matter of time before the Phantoms were going to get at least a chance for a three-point play. They've been missing those shots.
The foul is charged to Pamela Bircher, her first, and that's the 6th team foul. So from this point on, here's your replay. From this point on, the Phantoms will be shooting at least the 1-and-1 from this point. And the Phantoms still having no luck at the free throw line. Lakeisha Frett is 0 for 3. And who's the foul on? I believe they're going to call the foul against Patty Dixon. If that'll be her 4th.
And what she tried to do, she lost the ball and then made a foul trying to get it back. That is the 17th foul, so that'll be a 1-and-1.
Here's your replay. There you see, well, you didn't see the foul because the foul occurred out of our picture.
That's not a 1-and-1, then it must have been an offensive foul. The only thing I can say.
I guess so. Because it is the 7th team foul and should have been a shooting foul if it wasn't an offensive foul. Lakeisha Frett is warming to the task.
Well, no
12
longer
points.
she got somebody that can look her eye to eye, and she's going to take advantage of that nice offensive move by the Phantoms to recognize the weakness.
Misty Hart throws it up. Frett had it and still does on the baseline. Lakeisha Frett will push it up. Guarded by Taylor. Baseline jumper in and out. And Taylor gets the rebound. And a foul on Desiree Allen. To her disbelief. But then I've never known a lot of players that have necessarily agreed with the call.
No, that's true. I've seen the guy hack a guy on the arm and say, "Who, me?
That's right.
A foul? You kidding?"
That's only the first on Allen. Here's your replay. See if you can pick up the foul. It has already occurred because at this point the whistle has blown. 2:16 remaining in the third. The Phantoms have regained the lead 32-30. And Keisha Frick just stole the ball right out of the hands of the Menchville player. And then she is hammered and it counts. And it'll be a 2-shot foul.
It's automatic. She'll get 2 shots plus the ball, Tim. And
basket counts. The foul is going to be charged against Jara Savage. That was a frustration foul there.
It really was. And she came up limping, Tim, as we watched the replay.
This one was an obvious foul. You know this one was going to call. And Savage got the worst of the case. And what will happen here, now they've called a timeout, or not a timeout, but they've sent the team to the bench.
No, Menchville did call a timeout. Good, that's right, Tim.
What's going to happen here is the basket counts. Frett will get 2 shots because it was deemed to be an intentional foul. And then the Phantoms will get the ball at half court, I do believe.
Well, then you got a potential for a 6 to 7 point play.
Of course, the Phantoms have got to start hitting some of these free throws. You know, they've got the golden opportunity now. They're in the bonus for the duration of this game, which still has 2 minutes plus to go in the third period, while only 1 team foul has been charged to the Phantoms. 34-30. This, I believe, is the biggest lead of the game for Phoebus. They have trailed throughout the first 3 periods of this ball game. Hope you're enjoying this ball game here on Channel 5. We will be bringing you additional coverage of the Hampton City schools and their quest for the state championship. Of course, the Phantoms, the lone remaining Hampton City school in the girls division, but Hampton and Kickintan will advance to action next week. Hampton will be playing at Deep Creek Tuesday night, and Kickintan will host a first-round game at Kecoughtan High School next Wednesday evening. Lakeisha Frett finds the basket.
Tim, that just looked better when she released it than she has all night tonight.
Her first free throw connection of the evening. She is only 1 of 4 from the free throw line, but she now has started to get in her rhythm. She's got 15 points, averaging 30. Tough to do that game in and game out. And she hit nothing but net on both of those free throws. So a 4-point play for Frett. And now, as I said, the Phantoms will also get the ball.
And Savage is out of the game, Tim. She's walking on leaving the court. She is limping.
Looks like she hurt her hip. That might have been an incredibly costly play. And Frett is fouled, and the basket will count.
I said a possible 7-point play.
That foul is charged to Misty Hart. There you see Misty, and she's upset. But there was no question about that foul either. And now that 7-point play, a 7 consecutive point possibility. Frett has to hit the free throw to complete it. But it would be, in fact, a 7-point play off of that foul. She does not hit it. But it's kept alive by Kenya Vaughn, who's back in the game. That's got to be good news for the Phoebus faithful. Reese into Frett. She wants the ball. She got it.
8 straight points by Frett, Tim.
20 points in the game for Frett. And now she'll play a little defense, and there you see, throwing caution to the wind, Kenya Vaughn picking up her second personal foul. And when you've only got 2 team fouls, you can afford to be over-aggressive.
Not only that, Tim, but that's a hustle foul. And as a coach, you don't mind seeing hustle fouls.
So just the second personal foul on Vaughn, and that's just the second team foul against the Phantoms. They lead by 10 points after having trailed 30-28. They've rattled off 12 points to the Monarchs 2. And a whistle away from the ball. A foul will be called against Frett. And that'll be foul number 3 on Lakeisha Frett. So Frett has 3 personal fouls, 3 on Hargrove, and 4 on Reese for the Phantoms. And more importantly for the Monarchs, they have lost their leading scorer, Savage, who has limped to the dressing room. So this could be a tremendous blow to them. Intercepted on the inbounds pass, thrown right to the hands.
Great defense by Keisha Reese.
Hargrove looks inside, wants to go to Frett. She's well covered, goes instead to Reese. This is Bishop, Felicia Bishop looping inside for Frett. Frett guarded closely, puts it up off the rim. And finally controlled underneath by the Monarchs. What a shot by Janelle Hargrove.
I don't know how that ball went in, Tim.
Janelle Hargrove going away from the basket, threw up a one-hander that rolled over the rim and in to make it a 12-point lead for the Phantoms. And finally, the Monarchs are able to break that streak.
Nice bounce. A kind roll off the basket that time.
Wanda Browning got the basket, the first one in quite some time for the Monarchs. And it's a 10-point Phoebus lead. Frett guarded closely and can't hold on to the ball. "19 seconds remaining in the third period. Monarchs down by 10, having led most of this game. Ruby Taylor with a quick jumper, doesn't go. Frett cleans the board. Lakeisha, with 3 seconds remaining, gets it to Hargrove at the buzzer. It counts.
Wow, how about milking the clock, Tim? And that's what makes a coach happy. I know Mike Talon is not real thrilled about the way they played, but the team knew the situation, knew how much time was on the clock, when Janelle got the ball, she knew she had to shoot it. And that's what makes the coach happy, because they're in the flow of the game. They know the situation.
And she didn't force the shot or rush the shot. They timed it perfectly. She let it go before the buzzer sounded. Here's the replay. We had a clock in the corner of your picture. You would see that as she released the ball, the buzzer was sounding. And it got nothing but net. And the Phantoms went from a 3-point deficit. They scored 23 points to just 8 for the Monarchs here in the third period.
At the conclusion of this game, Tim, we're going to have Mr. Clay Washington, principal of Phoebus High School, and Dr. John Kilpatrick, he likes to be called Kill, of Menchville High School. They will present the awards to these two combatants tonight.
I'm happy to say that Jara Savage has returned to the lineup for the Monarchs. How effective she will be with that hip injury will only be shown by time. Ball is loose on the floor, and it is picked up by Reese. She spots Fret down floor. Fret was being more or less tackled going down the court, but it was a good defensive play. She got away with it because she was not overt about it. Way outside, Savage with a 3-point attempt, no good. Gives outside, Browning, no. And Janelle Hargrove, one of the smaller players on the court, comes up with the rebound. Knocked away nicely by Savage. Good defense by the Monarchs.
You got to protect the ball. If you're bringing a ball down the court, you got to know where everybody is on the court. Janelle did not that time.
And Savage is limping noticeably for the Monarchs. But she can shoot the ball, and that's what they're counting on, is they can get the ball to her. But her defensive abilities will be greatly encumbered. Foul is charged to Alicia Sneed. Check that Bishop. I thought he indicated 24, but in fact it was Bishop 25.
I don't think his 24 is on the court, Tim.
No. A reach-in foul on Bishop. That'll be a player control foul, the foul occurring before the shot was taken. 7:03 remaining. Taylor's shot, no good. Kenya Vaughn with the rebound for the Phantoms. This is Reese with 4 personal fouls. Guarded by Savage. Savage showing better mobility now than she was a few moments ago.
This just a clear out, a one-on-one.
And the pass underneath. Oh, they got a break. Looked like Lakeisha might have touched that ball last. The ball will belong to the Phantoms. Kenya Vaughn will fire, no good. And Janelle Hargrove will be called for her 4th personal foul as she went over the Monarch lady player's back. Still no free throws, but quickly now the Monarchs, or rather the Phantoms, have amassed 5 team fouls here in a very short period of time. So that advantage is quickly going. There you saw a quick replay of the previous action. Back to the live action now.
The Phantoms are playing a zone, Tim, which is unusual for them, but they are.
Nice block by Fret. Nice transition by Hargrove.
Who got the block down at the other end? Was that Vaughn?
Fret. No, Fret.
Fret got the. Okay. Nice
Fret blocked it. Janelle Hargrove picked it up and went coast to coast and drew the foul. That'll be the 4th personal foul. Here's, you see the block by Fret. Hargrove pushes it up the floor. And then the foul from behind. Charged to number 24, Cynthia Allen. That is her 4th. And Hargrove with a chance for a 3-point play.
Nice crowd here tonight, Tim.
And the Phantoms still continue to struggle at the free throw line. Only 1 of 3 for Hargrove. 46-32. Phantoms on top by 14 here in the 4th period, but it has not been this way at all if you joined us late. The Monarchs have led for most of the game, just a 2 by Pamela Bircher as she was just on the three-point line.
What a nice touch she has on that ball.
46-34. Reese getting a couple of picks. Gives to Fred. Fred put it up left-handed. No. Hargrove rebounds and sticks it back in.
Well, the shortest out there on the court, not the shortest, but one of the shortest, but she hustles and gets good position for those offensive rebounds.
Position is everything. 11 points in the game for Hargrove. She's played a very steady game for the Phantoms. Reese knocks it out of bounds. 5:08 remaining. There you see Mike Talon giving instructions to his Lady Phantoms.
And Wanda Brownie, number 10, comes in, Tim, and replaces Misty Hart for the Phantoms, for the Monarchs.
This is Ruby Taylor, guarded by Felicia Bishop. Bircher, who hit a 2 a while ago, misses on this one. And Hargrove rebounds, double teamed in the backcourt, wants to push it up. She spots Fret, but can't get it to her.
Great defensive play that time by Patty Dixon to get in the passing lane, pick off that pass.
Bircher connects. So she has hit 2 of 3 here in the latter stages of the ball game. And that lead now is 12 rather.
And a quick foul on number 34 for the Phantoms, and that's Pamela Bircher, Tim. Is that 5 on her?
No, Bircher just came in the ball game.
Oh, okay. That's just
that
her
is
second.
her second.
I looked up there and saw 24, and that's Cynthia Allen that has the
Yeah,
4.
she's got 4. 48-36, there you see the score. The Phantoms, the home team and the top seed. This tournament has gone right down the wire with the teams. Each seed, the higher seed has won every game. There have not been any upsets to date. And Reese cans the free throw. She has 2 out of 5 from the free throw line tonight, unofficially. And a total of 10 points. She has been saddled with 4 personal fouls since late in the first half. Savage brings the ball up, doing better now. She's not limping nearly as badly as she had been.
And the Phantoms are again back into the man-to-man. They were playing zone part of the time, but now they're back man-to-man.
Bircher, who is not bashful about shooting, puts it up. It's rebounded nicely by Browning of Menchville.
Well, Bircher is probably the designated shooter on this team.
She has not hesitated to fire it. Browning spots Taylor. Nice move to the basket by Taylor. Doesn't get the ball to go, though. And they say it was last touched by Phoebus. Monarchs looking at a 7-game win streak. Their last loss coming into this game was at the hands of the Phoebus Phantoms. Foul on the inbounds pass.
But Tim, we got to start thinking about player of the game for the Phantoms. Right now, I'm leaning towards Keisha Reese. She has kind of kept the Phantoms in. You know, I think Vaughn has done a great job. Hargrove's done a great job. Lakeisha Fred has done a great job, but I'm kind of leaning towards Keisha Reese, and I'll let you work on that as we're down to 3:55 in the game.
Good save by Savage. Any one of those 3 players you mentioned could be strong candidates. I agree with you about. I think Reese has done a good job and deserves to be chosen as our player of the game.
She has played a long time with 4 fouls, Tim.
Phantoms being a little more deliberate now with 3:20 remaining and a 14-point lead. Menchville, incidentally, will travel next week in their quest to stay in the tournament.
That was not a real good entry pass, and as Lakeisha Fred went for the pass, fouled number 42, Patty Dixon.
That's 4 on Lakeisha Frett now. Not that it's a big deal, but have you ever stopped to wonder, in football they have Division 5 and Division 6, but in basketball they don't have divisions. I wonder why that is.
Well, I think mainly because of the, you have more players, as we watch the replay, you have more players in football, so that you're limited who you can choose. In basketball, you only have 5. I think that's the main reason they do that.
I don't know that they could hear you very well, Bob. I think they had already turned your mic off, but we invite you to stay tuned at the conclusion of the ball game. Bob will have some post-game interviews. Get a chance to hopefully talk with maybe Mike Talon and some of the Lady Phantoms. The missed free throw will give the ball to the Phantoms. To inbounds, full court pressure, and Reese will push it up. Reese will go all the way, shoot it, doesn't go. And they say it was knocked out of bounds by Phoebus.
Right now, the Phantoms, I don't know if I'm on or not, Tim, but right now the Phantoms are got an ally in the clock. The Monarchs have got to get some points and get it quick. They got a traveling foul called that time. And you can't make those kind of mistakes, Tim, if you're the Monarchs. So you've got to score each time you come down the floor.
2:35, and the clock moving now. 50-36. Lakeisha Frett feels the pressure, puts it in. 22 points for Lakeisha. So she had a tough first half, only 6 in the first half, but had 8 straight points during that time when she drew the foul from Savage. And that pretty much ended the ball game for the Monarchs at that point in time. It was a close game to that point. Inside of 2 minutes to go.
That was a real big call, a big foul, Tim.
Inside, Kenya Vaughn, no. Back come the Monarchs. Savage draws the foul.
Looked like foul is on Kenya Vaughn. It is.
That's 4 on Kenya Vaughn. Jara Savage will go to the free throw line. You know, there's a point we don't want to overlook either, is that Savage, as you watch the replay here, Savage coming into the game averaging 20-plus points. There you saw the reach in before the shot. She was held to 7 in the first half and has only put on 2 points here in the second half. So she now has 10, but she's at half of her season's average. So you know they've done a good job defensively on Savage.
Well, they really have, Tim.
Minute and 40 remaining in the ball game. Good look at Jara Savage from Menchville High School. Misses the free throw, chased down by Misty Hart. Hart can't get it to drop, but Bircher rebounds, throws it up, no good, and Frett with the board. Mike Talon giving instructions to his team, and we've got a 5-second violation against the Phantoms. Good defense again.
Well, you got
Dixon.
5 seconds if you're closely guarded, and the official started making his count out here on the top before Lakeisha Frett started to move to the basket, Tim, and never did break that 6-foot plane.
Timeout is called.
Do you agree with me then on the player of the game?
Sure.
Okay.
Keisha Reese will be our player of the game for the Phoebus Phantoms. And certainly, as you said, and I don't want to de-emphasize this, Janelle Hargrove with a very strong game, 11 points. Kenya Vaughn with a good game. She had 8 points to this point. And Lakeisha Frett with 22 points. But it was Reese who kept the Phantoms in the game when they really needed it.
And we will have a plaque from DC Engraving and a T-shirt from the sports place for the young lady.
Some of the fans on hand here for this game, as well as the boys' game, which will be coming up here at the field house right after this game. We'll have it for you on Channel 5, the battle between Kecoughtan and Hampton for the Peninsula District Championship. 1:21 remaining in the ball game now. The Monarchs will see their record fall to 19-5, and the 16-game streak will become 17 for Phoebus, and they'll move to 23-1. Savage fouled on the play. Hargrove says, "What, me? I didn't do it, Mr. Ref." And that should be all for Janelle Hargrove. So Hargrove will foul out of the ball game with a total of 11 points.
And, you know, that's a tough call. But Janelle Hargrove played good defense, Tim. The Monarch player, Savage, made a turn into her and maybe initiated a contact, but the defense was called on a foul that time. It was a good move offensively by Jar Savage. A nice touch on the foul line.
Hargrove with 11 points, all of them in the second half. So Janelle Hargrove truly scoring the important points, as well as Reese Hargrove's points, all in the second half. Unofficially with 11. Savage hit the first, misses the second. Fred with another rebound. I don't keep rebound statistics, but I would have to think that Fred has easily double figures in rebound. Teen Yvonne, guarded closely by Hart, kicks it out to Desiree Allen. And the ball stolen by Hart. Hart will go coast to coast and lay it in. Good strong game for Misty Hart. She has 9 in the ball game. And now we have a little more than half a minute remaining, 52-40. Favor of the Phantoms. Both teams, as I said before, will advance to Eastern Regional action. Phoebus will host next Tuesday night, the 3rd, I think it is, of March. We've got it right now, I think, the 3rd. Savage from downtown doesn't go. And with 10 seconds to go, Fred will push it up. She spots King Yvonne open. Vaughn will connect.
That'll wrap it up, and I'm going to get a hold of Mike Talon, Tim.
So the Lady Phantoms trailed by 3 after 1. They trailed by 3 at halftime, but put it together in the 3rd period, outscoring the Menchville Monarchs by the score of 23-8 in the 3rd period, and then coasted to a 14-point victory as both teams were pretty even down the board.
Tim, I have Coach Mike Talon here. Coach, it wasn't pretty at all, but the second half you come out and just looked a little bit more in sync than you did the first half.
Yeah, we've got to learn that. We got to start playing together better than this. We're getting brutalized on the floor. I mean, I don't mind saying it either. We're getting brutalized on the floor, and I'm getting tired of it. And it's throwing us out of rhythm and out of sync, and the kids don't know how to play anymore. And every game we played the last 6 or 7 has been this way. I mean, it's too physical. I mean, it's ridiculous we have to play like this. And then on top of that, we play horribly. We're not thinking.
Well, and it kind of takes you out of your rhythm, and it took Fred a while. She just didn't look in rhythm when she was shooting the ball.
She was non-existent.
Yeah.
But, you know, she got a little spurt where she got her confidence back, and she started playing stronger. And that was the thing. You know, we just weren't physical enough. I mean, we were getting beaten. We should have been beating them back.
Right.
And we're getting called for these little touch fouls, and we're getting hammered. And, you know, the kids are saying, what do we got to do, Coach? And I said, you got to go out there and play just like they do.
Right, and that's the only thing you can do. Well, again, congratulations on the win, Mike. Wasn't pretty, but it is a win. And we're going to be following you in the regionals. Good luck in the regionals.
We're going to need it after one like this.
Okay, Mike, thanks
Thank you,
again.
sir.
Okay, Tim, let's go back over the table.
All right, thank you, Bob, and our congratulations to Mike Talon. And Mike, as you mentioned before, Bob, he is a perfectionist, and certainly the Phantoms far from perfect this evening, but it's encouraging if you're a Phoebus fan that you can play as poorly as they did against a good Menchville team and still come away with a hard-fought 14-point victory. But the Phantoms, paced by the 22 points unofficially of Lakeisha Frett. Another 11 points from Keisha Reese, 9 in the first half when they really needed to stay in the ballgame. And then Janelle Hargrove added 11 in the second half and 10 for Kenya Vaughn. So 4 Phantoms with double figures in the ballgame.
Well, Tim, what we have in the center of the court, the young man on the left is Dr. Kilpatrick. On the right is Clay Washington. They are principals of the respective schools. And Ray Ellenson, the man who's got your haircut in the center, is kind of coordinated this whole thing.
I got a lot more hair than that guy.
I wasn't talking about that's Bill now. That's not the same one, Tim.
There you see Janelle Hargrove as she accepts the trophy from the Hampton City School Superintendent, Ray Washington. And a very happy, excuse me, did I say superintendent? I meant principal.
Tim, we've got the mic over to Bill Nelm's now, so that'll help us.
And now we'd like to ask if we could, another member of the Phoebus Lady Phantoms, if they would come out and accept the first place trophy, ladies and gentlemen, as champions of the Peninsula District Tournament. And now we'd like to ask the member for the Lady Monarchs of Menchville if they would come out and receive the second place trophy. This one of course, very important to the Lady Monarchs because this is the one that got them into the Eastern Regionals.
So there you see Phil Forbes. And
now, ladies and gentlemen, the awards that we're going to present to you is going to be the all-tournament team as picked by the coaches for 1991 and 92. Making this year's all-tournament team, first of all, a center. She was a 6'1" senior. She was the leading rebounder for the second place Menchville Monarchs, number 42, Patty Dixon. Our second awardee tonight was a forward, a 5'9" senior. She had 12 points in her first 2 games, only 11 tonight. For the Phoebus Phantoms, number 33, Keisha Reese.
And what a nice job she has done, Tim, to play almost half and a quarter with 4 fouls is just remarkable.
Our third honoree is a guard, a 5'9" senior. Through her first 2 games, she averaged 17 points per game. Tonight, 11 points for the Menchville Monarchs, number 40, Jara Savage.
And I hope that knee or hip or whatever, Tim, is not serious so that she plays well in the regionals. Fine young athlete.
Also on this year's team, a center, a 5'11" senior, averaging better than 10 points per game through the tournament. For the Gloucester Lady Dukes, number 42, Keisha Red Cross. John Hatch coming out to receive that award for Keisha. Also earning the award this year on this year's all-tournament team was a center, a 6'2" junior. She scored 14 points in the first game, 15 in the second game for the Lady Warriors of Kecoughtan, number 40, Tajima Abraham. We are down to the final award, the most valuable player in this year's tournament. The lady scored 33 points per game on the average for the first two games, 22 points tonight. A center, a 6'3" junior for the champion Lady Phantoms of Phoebus, number 41, Lakeisha Frett.
Well, Tim, I always tell her she has got a great number. 41 was the number I had when I played, and it's the most obscure number I've ever seen, and I'm glad to see somebody wear it that does well.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go away, we would like to introduce the three gentlemen that you will see out here again in our final game. These are the folks that have put on our tournament this year. Of course, our tournament director, Mr. Ray Ellison, and with Mr. Ellison, Mr. Dr. John Kilpatrick, and Clayton Washington from Phoebus High School.
All right, so that's going to do it here from Anderson Fieldhouse at Fort Eustis. The final score again, the Phoebus Phantoms with Lakeisha Frett, the most valuable player of the tournament, winning the Peninsula District in the final game 54-40 over a game Menchville Monarch ladies team. For Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.